What's going on? I'll be Fitness Gaming, and you've seen the title of the video. You know why you're here. So today we're going to be testing out Elvish Reclaimer. I know, it looks out of place in this deck because usually when you see this card, it's doing degenerate things. It's, in Titan, it's in land decks and Legacy, and it's used more of a utility creature to fetch out certain lands and also to ramp yourself. In this deck, it plays a different role. Okay, it is a 1 mana 3/4, which is very relevant. It does not die to bolt. It's really easy to get 3 lands in your graveyard because we play 12 fetch lands and we have to fetch aggressively. It also plays another role. Because the activation is colorless and he's only 1 green mana, if we get Blood Mooned, we are able to fetch out our planes. I know it's not the best thing, but it is a thing. Because we're playing Elvish Reclaimer, we are playing an additional land, 22 lands, and that additional land is Flagstones of Trokair, which we can fetch out with the Reclaimer, destroy it with the Reclaimer, and get 2 planes. Alright, that's how it works. Put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Yeah, so you can fetch out 8 planes, which is, it could be a Triome, it could be your basic planes that we're going to need. Sacred Foundry, it could be any planes, and then we can get another land. So technically we could bring out both our Triomes just with 1 activation, which is pretty sweet. So it could help us reach Domain pretty consistently if used correctly. That's kind of like the idea behind it, is that we'll consistently have Domain a lot of the games, even though we get it pretty consistent, but this is going to keep the consistency. We can ramp with the Flagstone. We can also have a 3/4 for 1. And we can fight against things like Blood Moon. So that's the idea. We replaced the Ragavan. I like the Wild Nacatl personally better than the Ragavan. I find it to be more of an aggressive creature than Ragavan. Ragavan could be a dead card later in the game, but we'll see. Sideboard, 2 Veil of Summers, Dromoka's Command, 2 Prismatic Ending, 2 Wear and Tear, 3 Faerie Macabres. I really like this Faerie Macabre card for graveyard decks. If you notice, there's no Rest in Peace, none of that. We're just playing 3 Faerie Macabres, 2 Consumes, and 2 Teferis. Everything pretty standard. Alright, and then the spells, we had to make room for an additional land, so we removed the Dromoka's Command. Not saying this is 100% correctly, but this is what we're going to be playing today. And testing out and seeing if it's something that has legs, then I'll put more time into it. Just been looking for a creature, another creature that can possibly help us, make the deck more consistent. I was testing Knight of the Reliquary. I like Knight of the Reliquary. I tested Siege Rhino. Siege Rhino was also very good. We're going to keep this. Okay, so we're going to lead with Breeding Pool, Wild Nacatl. Floated Vertical. Let's see what we got. Probably some type of discard deck. Thoughtseize or Inquisition. There it is. They want no part of that. Okay, so what we can do here is we can play the Reclaimer. Keep in mind, if this was a Ragavan here, we would have not been able to make this play. So that's one thing, those are little things that you want to keep in mind as you're playtesting new cards, right? Is you want to say, okay, this replaced this card. How would that other card fit in this hand, right? We would have to play a Sacred Foundry, which is fine. We could have dashed it in, which is also good. And then next turn we could have fetched in the Overgrown Tomb and got, what is it called? Domain for the Draco. 2 cards in the yard, 2 different card types. So I'm assuming there's some type of Death Shadow deck. Rakdos Shadow. Let's see here. Okay, not the best, but not the worst. So we'll play this. We're just gonna go in with this and then attack. Give me 1 second, guys. My kids are blasting the TV. Thank you. Sorry about that. Alright. It was hard for me to concentrate. I'm trying to concentrate on the game, talk to you guys, record, and they're blasting Rainbow Friends. Okay. So Death Shadow probably going to come down. Yep. You play these decks long enough, you start to notice that it's the same patterns. Piece of removal or burn spell would be nice here. So we're going to grab a steam vent here. We're going to need red. Another fetch land. We have red here if we get bolts. So let's go ahead and just cycle this. Another land. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to go all in. Or do we? Do we go all in? If we attack with everything, they block here, this dies. They have to block one of these, this dies. But then they could probably kill us with the shadow, right? I guess not. I guess we'll have to figure it out. So yeah, I don't know what they had in their hand, but you know, one of the things there is we could have attacked with everything. They block here. Death Shadow turns into, let's just say, 12-12. They could have the double strike red card. So let's see here. This is good against Death Shadow. Remand is not that good. What else? This can be good against discard. I don't think Stubborn Denial is okay in this matchup. It's just that their spells are so efficient that sometimes it's not the best. Let's try Teferi. Teferi could be good, and let's try these Faerie Macabres. Is there any? Well, they actually. Do they bring in Blood Moon? I think they play Blood Moon, right? Let's bring in the Dromoka's Command and this. Actually, no. Let's just leave one. So we were last game we were able to get the Reclaimer to a 3/4 without having to even activate him, so that's pretty good. We're gonna keep. We can go Breeding Pool, Reclaimer, Sacred Foundry, Territorial Kavu. If we draw a bolt here, I'm just gonna bolt this, because if we're probably, if we play a Reclaimer, they're gonna just bolt it or Fatal Push and then get in. Okay, So we're just going to go Breeding Pool Reclaimer. And then next turn we'll go Sacred Foundry with Flooded Strand into Kavu. And then we can go Draco, Hold Up, Stubborn Denial. This is a trade, unless they could have Energetic Growth or something to pump it. Or they could think that we have an Elvish Reclaimer in our deck. Okay, so I think this is what I think happened here. I think that they thought Elvish Reclaimer is like some type of combo piece or valuable piece in our deck. So they figured, hey, we'll attack. He's not going to block, right? Because he wants to keep his Elvish Reclaimer. But little did they know, we're just using it as a beater and as a way to clean up our mana. And that's why I think this is what I'm suspecting. And they attacked and they realized, oh my God, that is just a vanilla 1/2 that they don't care for. It's fodder. So I think that's what happened. They thought that they overvalued the Reclaimer and they didn't have Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt. Or maybe they did and they didn't do it. But I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So far, looks decent. Gonna be playing some more games with it to see, you know, how well it does. Again, in this deck, it plays a different role. We want it as a 3/4 that can fix our mana and can help us get out of binds whenever something happens like Blood Moon. You know, it's a card that even in the late game, it's always decent at best. I mean, at worst, because, you know, you're going to have a 3/4 for 1, which is really good. And you can always, like I said, filter through your lands if you need to have certain lands. If, let's say, you don't want to fetch because you don't want to take damage, you can, like, sack the fetch and get the other one. I mean, probably a minor thing here and then, but, you know, it's just a little gameplay that you should know. Flagstones of Trokair can help us ramp, get 2 lands that we need, so that can help us get Domain fairly easily on the second turn if we need to be. If we have this in hand with a Reclaimer, play Reclaimer, turn 2, sack it, and have Domain. And this deck really thrives once it has 3 to 4 mana because we're able to double spell every turn and hold up removal and counter spells, which is really hard to deal with once we're in that spot. So we're going to continue playing the Reclaimer here. I think it could have some potential. We'll see. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys saw that maybe I could have done better. You know, any questions you have, comment at the bottom. I'm going to have the deck list in the description below. Alright, again guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. Helps out a lot. And take care.